Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian and today I'm going to be doing my very first book unhaul. So I am what you might call a bit of a hoarder. I have a lot of trouble giving things up, even things that like I don't necessarily need or want anymore. For some reason I just have trouble getting rid of things, so this is a big moment for me, okay? Even though like most of these books I didn't even like, I still have a bit of trouble giving things away, so everyone should be very proud of me. But today I have about, I think like 20-ish, maybe less. I don't know. I have about 20 books that I'm going to be unhauling for various reasons. Most of them, it's because I don't like them, but some of them I have other reasons for. So let's just talk about all these books because there are a lot. Also, I apologize about this lighting. I waited too long in the day to film this and the sun is already setting and this is what I got for it, so I apologize. But the first book that I'm going to be unhauling is All These Bodies by Kendra R. Blake, and you may notice this is the art copy, and the reason I'm unhauling this is I received a finished copy, so I don't really need this art copy anymore. I haven't even read this book yet. I think it's a YA thriller, and I am very interested to read it, but haven't gotten it yet. I actually got the ARC through my work, but then I got the finished copy. Oh wait, I just remembered I don't have a finished copy. I have two art copies. That's the problem. I got this art copy through my work and then I got another art copy from HarperCollins Canada. So I don't need two arcs of this book. That's what the right. I forgot. But yeah, I don't need two art copies of this book. So I'm not gonna be selling this, okay? Don't worry, I'm gonna just donate it somewhere. But yeah, so I don't need two copies and I still want to read this book. I don't need two copies. The next book is Such a Good Wife by Serafina Nova Glass, and this is the very first physical ARC I ever received, so I am kind of sad to get rid of it, but I have read this book. I think I gave it 2.5 stars. It is a mystery thriller book, and I just found it very meh. Like, there was nothing very original about it, nothing about it surprised me. There were no like big reveals or shocking twists or anything. It was just kind of middle of the road for me, so I definitely don't need this anymore. Since it's an art copy, I'm not selling it or anything, don't worry, but yeah, don't need this anymore. Next, I have What We Devour by Lindsay Miller, and you may notice this is actually a finished copy of the book. The art copy I do have, and I am keeping that one because that is one of the first physical ARCs I ever got. Not the first, obviously, because Such a Good Wife. Was that what it's called? Such a Good Wife, whatever. Obviously that was. But this book I got the art copy because the author on Twitter was asking if there were any ace reviewers who wanted to get early copies of this book because there is asexual representation in this book. And so I messaged her on Twitter, and because of that I got an early copy of the book. So that art copy means a lot to me because I got it because I'm an ace reviewer, and I don't know, that just meant a lot to me. So this book I didn't even necessarily love. I gave it 3 stars. But it's still like, it holds a special place in my heart, so I decided to keep the art copy because that is the copy I read and it has some meaning to me. So I'm gonna be giving away this finished copy, which they did send me once the book came out. But yeah, so that's why I'm getting rid of this. But even though like I didn't love the book, the art copy still means a lot to me, so getting rid of the finished copy. Next we have a like 2012 Booktubers, I guess, darling, that is Looking for Alaska by John Green. I bought this book like way back in like 2013, 2014. When did this book come out? It's like pretty old, I feel like. 2005? Did it really? Did this really come out in 2005? Oh god. Okay, well, I bought this book a long time ago. It wasn't in 2005, but it might have been closer to like 2011. But anyways, I bought this book a long time ago and then I didn't read it until 2020. I finally picked this book up and I really did not like it. I did not see the hype that this book has gotten. I know for some people it's like one of their favorite books, and I do like John Green's writing. Like, I'm not a John Green hater or anything. I much preferred The Fault in Our Stars to this book. I thought this was just like way too pretentious. Like, I know he's kind of known for his pretentious writing, but this was just too much. And I really hated the character of Alaska, and like this book is just building up to this thing and you don't know what this thing is, and then the thing happens and you're like, okay, like I didn't really care, so I really just don't need this book anymore, so getting rid of it. Next will be No Surprise to Anyone. That is Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. This is my least favorite book of all time. I read it at the end of 2021 and I absolutely hated it. I hate this book so much. Just looking at it makes me angry, so I just need it out of my house. Like, I don't want to look at it anymore, and I feel bad because Rachel gifted me this book, but like, I'm sorry Rachel, I love you and I very much appreciate it, but I can't have this in my house anymore. I hate it so much. So off it goes. Next is a book that I actually very recently read, and that is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. And I don't feel bad getting rid of this because this is another book that I got for free through my work, and this book just didn't work for me. I don't really like the like switched places, pretend to be each other trope. I don't know if that trope really has a name, but you know what I'm talking about. But this book did not work for me, and someone else can enjoy this holiday romance. I have some other holiday romances that I prefer to this one, so I don't need this one, and yeah, again, off it goes. The next book I'm getting rid of is Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. Now, before you panic, okay, I have a reason for getting rid of this, because I know if you saw my best books of the year video, this is one of my favorite books from 2021. However, I have 2 copies of this book and I don't need 2 copies, so I'm getting rid of one of them, but I'm still keeping the copy I read. I'm still keeping that, okay? Do not worry. I love this book very much, and someone else can enjoy it. I don't need to be hoarding it all for myself, so yeah, someone else can have this copy. The next book I'm so sad to be getting rid of because this cover is so beautiful, but I really did not like this book, and that is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, and this was our very first book club pick for the Whiners, and everybody loved this book. And I really didn't like it, and I felt so bad. I remember being so anxious before that live show because, you know, it was our very first book club live show and I was gonna come and trash this book. But this book, oh my god, it did not work for me. I didn't really like anything about it. It was just way too dramatic, and I don't know. I mean, I barely remember it at this point, but there's like, I remember there being one reveal at the end and it came out of absolutely nowhere, and I remember just reading it being like, what? So yeah, even though it's beautiful, I have to say goodbye to it. Next is another beautiful book, but only on the outside. That is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. Hate this book. It's just not good. Like, it's simply not a well-written book. It had so much potential. It is about Greek mythology, and it just seemed so interesting. This was another Whiners book club pick, and I was so excited to read it, and it just really disappointed me. It's way too long, first of all, and just thinking about it makes me really angry. And this is another book where there's something that happens at the end and I was like, what? Like, can you do that? Can you just do that? I guess so. So yeah, I don't like this book, and again, need it out of my house, need it out of my life, and I don't want to ever think about it again. Okay, I'm realizing these next few books are all books that have pretty covers, but I just didn't like the insides of these books. The next one is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This is another one of my worst books of 2021. I just did not This book was so frustrating, and I can't even explain why because that would be a spoiler, but like, I'm just thinking about I wish I could say what it is about this book that made me dislike it so much, but I can't. So all I can say is that this book just really disappointed me, especially because it was my first Riley Sager book and I've heard so many good things about his books, and especially this one. A lot of people seem to love this one and I just did not see it, and I love this cover. I'm really sad about it, but yeah, it's time for it to go. The next book is Ferryman by Claire McFall, and I received an art copy of this book to review, and I didn't really like this book. Again, another one of my worst books of 2021, but I feel bad. I feel bad getting rid of the art copy, so I'll just get rid of the finished copy and keep the art copy, at least for now, and then maybe one day I'll get rid of that too. But this book was just, it was just not for me. It reminded me a lot of Twilight, but like, it is better than Twilight, I will say, but like, it was just very, very young YA, and it just did not work for me. It was very short, so at least it has that going for it. It didn't take up too much space, but still too much space, you know? The next book, I'm so happy to finally be getting rid of this book because just looking at this book makes me so angry. That is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahiran. I hate this book. I hate this book so much. I've complained about this book so often, mostly because this book takes place in like, it's in France, but it's not France, but like it's basically France, and the author just decides to throw in some random French in this book, and it's not proper French. It makes me so mad. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, my French is so amazing, but like, I did grow up learning French, so I feel like I know more French than this author, clearly, because reading this book just made me so angry. And I could go on a whole rant about how much I hate when authors just use French in their books because it's a pretty language and it makes them sound fancy, but like, if you're gonna do that, like, it's still a whole ass language, so can you please look it up and I don't know, use it properly and have some respect for the language? Like, I don't know, but it makes me so mad. Like, why do you just use it as like a gimmick in your books, you know? Okay. I need to calm down. But also the writing in this was just not good. It's not just the French that bothered me, it's all the English in this book also. So I'm just so excited to finally be getting rid of this because this book just makes me so angry, and looking at it makes me angry, and I don't want to ever think about it again. So off it goes, bye-bye. And finally, the last book that I'm getting rid of, which I'm also very happy to finally see go, is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Another book I really don't like. Yeah, this book also made me just really mad. First of all, I found it way too confusing, and like, I'm not gonna go on a whole rant, but I found like there's so many dark elements in this book and they just really seemed unnecessary. Like Leigh Bardugo, I don't think had to go that far with some of the things in this book. And also like she sets up this whole character of Darlington, and like people who love this book, I've seen them be like, oh my god, love Darlington so much, and I'm like, we don't even know him. Like, I don't understand how people grew attached to Darlington when you don't even get to really see him in this book. All you see is flashbacks from his point of view, but that's it. You don't see him in the present at all. So I'm like, how can you get to know him from just his flashbacks? I don't know. I hate this book. I'm happy to see it go, especially because this was a present from my ex-boyfriend, and so I don't need to keep this. Also, what Serpent and Dove was too, so bye. But yeah, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. It makes me angry, and that's that. So those are all the books that I'm going to be unhauling, at least for now. I just counted and there's only 13. I don't know how I thought there was 20, but those are 13 books that I am unhauling. 13, Taylor Swift, exactly. Let me know if you like any of these books. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But if you like them, I'm so happy for you. I don't like most of these books. Obviously Sleeping Giants I like, but the ones that I have read besides Sleeping Giants, I think all of them I don't like. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my first unhaul ever. Do you see any other books on my shelves that I should unhaul? Let me know. I don't know. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!